Hello, it's Jim Games here once again and welcome to this new Unreal Engine 5 tutorial. In this video we are going to start creating the game event system. So yeah, let's get started. So what we want to do first, we want to go to the blueprints and we want to go to the structures. And here we want to create a new folder called game event. Let's open it, let's right click and let's create a structure. And let's actually create a game event struct like that. Now let's duplicate it and let's call this GE, which stands for game event objective struct. Okay, we are not actually going to touch this objective struct in this episode, but yeah, let's open the game event struct. Oh, and here we have this default variable. What we want to do now is we want to rename this to be objective and the variable type GE objective struct, and also we want to change this from single to array like that. Now we can just save and close this. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to go to the interactable folder, and here we want to also create a new folder called game event, or maybe events. It actually doesn't matter. Yeah, it can also be just game event. Okay, let's open it. And here we want to create a new blueprint class type actor, and this will be called event trigger. Okay, and let's open the event trigger. Oh, why does this open all the windows on my second monitor? But yeah, let's open the event trigger. And what we want to do here now, we want to add a new component. We want to search for a box collision, and let's rename this to be trigger box. Now let's select our trigger box and let's change the box extend to, let's actually change it to 200, 200 and 200 like that. And the next thing that we want to do is we want to actually go to the construction script. And now we want to create few new variables. First one is called center as pivot. I will show you soon what this does. And now we want to make this instance editable and expose on spawn like that. And now when we duplicate this, we will have this same boxes checked. Okay, so let's duplicate it. The next variable will be called collision extend, and it will be type vector, and also it will have these checked. The third variable will be called do once, and it will be type boolean. And do we have, yes. The next one and the last one will be new game event. Or yeah, events, because we can add multiple events here later on. Now the variable type will be the game event struct, And also let's change this to be an array. Now let's compile. Now you can see we can add these new events here. We don't have anything yet on this objective. But yeah, okay. So one more thing that two things that we want to do here. Let's go to the do once. Let's make it true as default because we want to, it to be defaulted as true. So usually we want to call the event only one time, but you can uncheck this on the level if you want to, for some reason, call it multiple times. And also, let's click on the collision extend. Let's also change this to be 200, 200, and 200. Okay, let's compile. Let's save all just to be sure. Now here on the construction script, we want to get our trigger box. Let's get it to here. Let's leave some space here. Now we want to get our collision extend. And from here, we want to divide. Let's divide all these by 2. Now from the trigger box reference, we want to set box extend like this. And now let's connect this divided value to the in box extend like that. Now we want to add a branch after that. So B and left click, let's connect it to here. And we want to check if center as pivot. Okay. And if it's true, we actually don't want to do anything else. But if it's not, we want to get our trigger box reference again to here maybe. And from here, we want to set relative location like this from the false. Because if we don't use the center as pivot, then we want to set the location of this trigger box. So let's get from this divided value again, and let's connect it here. Let's add some reroutes maybe to here. It's not, is it? Let's see, let's select it and press Q. Okay, it was almost perfect. So yeah, we're just setting the trigger box's size by this value, and we divided it by 2 because it will extend it to both directions, and this way we will get it the correct size in units. Okay, and here we're checking if we want to use the center as pivot. If we will, it will be like this because the pivot is in the center as default. But if we don't, we want to set this relative location to this value, so it will move it to the side. So now when we compile, save, I will show you how this works. Actually, one more thing. Let's go to the trigger box one more time. And here we want to make the visible true and hidden in game. Actually, sorry. I'm stupid. Yeah, like this. Yeah. So now let's move it to the level. Event trigger. Let's move it maybe to here. Okay. And now if we click this center as pivot, check this box, what it does. It will move the pivot point to the center. If for some reason in some places it if you think it would be easier to like move it like this, but normally it will be like this. Okay, and I will actually control Z many times. But yeah, so you can change the pivot point. And yeah, the extend, if we set 100 here, you can see it will change the size of the box. Simple things, but yeah. So let's go back to the event trigger. Actually, one thing that I noticed, we don't have the game events array here. So let's go back to the event trigger. New game events. Oh, instance editable and explosion spawn. Compile save. Let's see. Yes, now we have it here. So we can actually add events here when we create them. Okay. Now back to the event trigger. Now let's go to the event graph and let's delete everything else than the... Sorry, let's actually delete everything. Oh, my Unreal is lagging again. So I had to reopen the editor. But yeah, let's delete everything from here. And now let's select our trigger box. And let's scroll down to the on component begin overlap. And let's create the event. Now let's get from the other actor and let's cast to... what is our player's name? Is it just player? BP player character. Yep. And now from here, after that, we want to spawn actor from class. And now we will have to go back to the third person map and to the game event folder. Now let's create a new blueprint class, type actor, and let's call this game event. Now let's quickly open it and let's just add one variable which will be called game events, and it will be type game event struct as an array like this. And now instance editable and explosion spawn. Okay, compile, save all, and we can close this. Now let's go back to the event trigger. Here now we can select the class, the game event, like that. Here to the game events, we want to get the new game events variable and connect it there. And also we want, or we actually need to split the struct bin. I will show you what this does. If we don't, it will give you this error. So split it and it's fixed. Okay, so we will create this game event actor. And after that, we want to create a branch, so being left click, and we want to just check if we do once or not. Let's actually get this a little bit closer. So do once. If we do, then we want to destroy actor. If we don't have to do anything, at least for now. So yeah, we have created this simple event trigger. And on the next episode, we will create the game objective things. So we can actually create the objective event. But yeah, this was a simple episode, but this will be very handy later on when we will make this event trigger and also this game event. So we can actually like call any kind of events and create custom events with it. So yeah, but yeah, hope you liked the video. If you did, please click the like button and subscribe for more. And yeah, hope you have a great day and see you on the next one. Bye.